Hello and welcome to our live stream. I am David Dahl, Global Alliance Manager for Rockwell Automation. And joining me in the Rock Studios booth here is Mark Beckman, Director of Manufacturing Industry Solutions at Microsoft. Mark, welcome back to Automation Fair. Microsoft has shown up even bigger this year. You guys brought a big team, have cool demos out there, lots of content on display. Your team is doing sessions on AI and industrial metaverse and sustainability. So it's great to have you guys back here.
Hey, it's great to be back yet again.
Yet again. So let's get started with AI. That's been the topic of 2023, pretty much in every conversation, sometimes in every sentence inside every conversation, it feels like. Microsoft has invested a lot, has delivered a lot, but you guys are just getting started, really. So with manufacturers, we're seeing some early adopters, a lot of kicking the tires, and a lot of unknown. So what do you see as what's happening today with AI and in the near future with our manufacturing audience?
Yeah, well, certainly AI is permeating a lot of the conversations we have, not only just in manufacturing, the discipline of manufacturing, but also the engineering design, designing plants, supply chains, sustainability. So it's a wide variety of topics when it comes to artificial intelligence applications for the functions in manufacturing. But in terms of what we're seeing companies do is really, yes, some are experimenting and playing around with things, but several are actually doing some very strategic things related to AI overall. Now I will tell you, generative AI, chat GPT type of things, provides a lot of opportunities for us when it comes to manufacturing, servicing the equipment on the plant floor. Engineers can use it to gather all the content and data that they need in order to make design decisions, or historical information that can be used to create better products. The other piece of this too is the notion of generating not only content, but code. All right, and if I think about manufacturing and some of the changes that are impacting, especially the mobility world, autonomous and electrification, there's software that's involved in that. So I need to build the embedded code to do that. And certainly the services that are out there from us and others, to be candid, are capabilities that allow us to generate code faster and therefore get new products to market faster. And quite frankly, deal with a lot of the labor issues that we're having in the marketplace today.
Yeah, that's a key piece, talking about the co-pilot thing. I know Microsoft has a bunch of co-pilots have already come out across their product. We're launching our new co-pilot and design studio here with a lot of co-innovation from Microsoft. So pivoting on what your last comment was about the workforce and helping them out, right? I think when it comes to AI, we got 12,000 people here in the manufacturing space, and a lot of them are wondering about the future of AI and how it's going to impact them. Is it going to enable them, or is it going to replace them? So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a multifaceted kind of response that I can give you to that, and I think it's related to the labor that we're dealing with today. In a lot of manufacturers, we have a retiring workforce. How do we gather that information, all right? It might be written down somewhere, it might be digital. How do we harvest a lot of that information? The second piece, it's getting harder to hire people, all right? And quite frankly, the pressures from an economic perspective on margins are impacting what we can pay workers and the productivity that we actually get out in the back, because we may not have the best workers or enough labor in order to produce what we need. But you asked the question about what's it mean for a worker, all right? And if you take the factors that I just mentioned, all right, and simply look at it from that lens, we still need to do the work that we need to do, and AI can actually supplement the current workforce with not having to deal with multiple manuals, multiple decision points, trying to figure out what we need to do, but conserve information to the existing workforce that says, these are the 3 things that you should look for in order to fix this problem. All right, these are the things that you need to do to maintain this asset in your production operation. The other piece of this too is there's a lot of work that we do that we kind of don't want to do. All right. Take our co-pilots. All right, for Outlook. All right, Can it write email? Absolutely. Can it respond to email? Yes. And it can write actually very beautiful emails if you have enough opportunity to play around with it. If you extrapolate that to some of the common things that we do, quality checks, for example. Can I write a quality report a lot faster because of that? And the answer is absolutely you can. Yes, we need the data and content in order to be able to do that, but we can actually do a lot, take away a lot of the tedious labor type of things in processes that people do in the manufacturing operations to really make them more productive and solve things a lot faster.
Those are some great examples, right? I think focus on the worker enablement, filling gaps, adding skill sets, and taking care of those the low-hanging fruits so they can do more valuable activities. Those are great examples. So I want to extend that now. So we take those last two topics, we take the workforce, right? We add AI, and if we want to add some of the new visualization capabilities and tools, then I think we're talking about industrial metaverse, right? So we saw Blake Moret and Judson Althoff on the keynote this morning spend a lot of time on industrial metaverse. The demo back in the Microsoft booth has a lot of content about blending Rockwell and Microsoft capabilities and technologies to deliver a bunch of use cases around digital twins and metaverse solutions. So can you spend a few minutes on the Microsoft point of view around metaverse? Because I think to a lot of people it's still a fuzzy concept.
Yeah, so our view of the metaverse is really, it's a digital representation that includes a graphical piece of that allows us to do kind of two main things. All right? Number one is take the environment and perhaps simulate it. All right? And the second piece is how can I use the digital twin and the metaverse in real time to monitor my facilities. I think that's I don't want to say it's the golden calf, if you will, that allows us to really get some optimization going in our manufacturing or supply chain or any of the processes, supply chain processes, extend that beyond that to our suppliers that allow us to see very graphically on how things work and function. Tie that to artificial intelligence for a second, because everything related to optimization probably has an algorithm associated with it, or a model associated with it that tells us how to optimize that. Where we think the metaverse is going is really democratizing this data even further than what we can do today so that we can see it visually and interact with it visually, which allows us to do some really cool stuff that we learned through COVID, like how do I operate my plant from a remote location? How do I capture information and adjust based off of that? All of the information that should be flowing through the metaverse, industrial metaverse, my operation, should help us run our plants, our supply chains much more effectively going forward. So that's a little bit of how we see it.
That's great. Very, very future looking, but also grounded in today's capabilities, products, and really a value story, I think, right? All right, so I have time for one more topic. It's something we've talked about before, and that's sustainability, right? Probably second only to AI in the number of conversations you get into, right? There's a big space right over there in the expo dedicated to sustainability, showcasing Rockwell products, our customer stories, and even some of our joint stories. And we know Microsoft is a world leader on this topic, both internally and externally, what you're doing in your own facilities, in your own manufacturing, as well as your customer stories. So tell us, how does the idea of sustainability fit into the things we've discussed with AI and metaverse?
Well, really, I think all the things that we've mentioned so far, before sustainability, are aids to helping us be more sustainable, all right? Just take the metaverse conversation. If I can see my world, if I can model and simulate what it takes to create a product, manufacture a product, and all its inputs and energy costs, and how it actually is end of life, and I can actually simulate that, I could probably build a more sustainable product, all right? To be candid, you can probably save the company money in doing that. So how do I put less energy into my product? What can I do to be more efficient in how I move it through the supply chain, all right? Can I use optimization in order to do that? New materials, all right? Are there new materials out there that we can experiment with that allows us to use artificial intelligence to figure out molecules or different materials that allow us to do the same thing but don't cost as much to produce or are more effective for the environment just based on the minerals that it contains. So sustainability, I think, I'll tell you what we're seeing in manufacturers today is everybody's talking about it. You'll find various levels of maturity in manufacturers today. But what I think is the most interesting conversation is industrial IoT, industrial metaverse, sustainability, kind of are all one, all right? And if we think about what we can do to be more sustainable, with that lens and focusing on sustainability, we can actually use that money to do IoT types of things in our manufacturing operation and allow the manufacturing plant floor workers in order to build higher quality, lower cost, more productive solutions and products, but get the benefits from a sustainability perspective that everybody is requiring of us. What's interesting too, I will add this, is everybody's focused on sustainability because the customer is getting smarter. Customers want to buy from manufacturers, producers, sustainable products that they know where they came from and how they were manufactured. So eventually it's going to turn where everybody will have to do these things, and quite frankly it's good for the plant floor, and it's good for the world, and it's good for our clients.
That is a great point. We're going to end on that. Hopefully that resonated with everybody. Mark, it's always great to pick your brain, get your input here, and your point of view, and put that in front of our audience. So I appreciate you joining us again. Thank you very much. To our viewers, I hope this inspired you to think about these new technologies and how they can enable your goals and vision. If you want to learn more, click the link in the video description and check out online content from Rockwell and Microsoft. Thanks again, enjoy your day.